Hello, everybody. Welcome to Championship predictions for round 15 as we get to the end of this latest block of fixtures. International break coming, and it is a third game of the week coming up. In the midweek round, Sam, we were, break our arms, slapping ourselves on the back, on rather good form. I have to say, I thought you were going to beat me by Tuesday night. You were well up, but I've rallied on the Wednesday night. 11-10 to me, but 5 bob-ons, mate. Lots of late goals as well. You got Charlton, West Brom, 1-0, bob on, and Leicester, Middlesbrough. I got Coventry 3-1 against Sheffield United. And then last night I rallied with Preston 2, Swansea 1, and Portsmouth 0, Wrexham 0. We do have one public apology to give later in the show. I've gone 9-2 up, mate, but you are rallying and in better form.
I cannot be too disappointed with that return, despite the defeat. And a harsh lesson learned, I let my heart rule my head with the QPR Southampton result. I went for the 3. Do you know what? There was a moment last night when it went back to 2-1 and Southampton were like, when I say camped in their own box, that is an understatement. My goodness me, I've not seen the levels of desperation in defending for many a year. So I thought, is this going to be a famous night? But it's a game I've seen many times before, QPR losing at home despite having the lion's share of the ball and chances. So harsh lesson learned. I won't be doing that again. Well, I won't be doing that in the short term because QPR are toiling right now.
I wonder where you go with that. Get involved down there in the comments with your own predictions. You know the scores by now. Sam, straight back at it tomorrow night then. And it is Watford versus Bristol City. And Watford very good at home. Bristol City, one of 3 teams who could do a 0-point week. Spoiler alert, the other 2 are playing each other.
Well, yeah, I got burnt by Bristol City, didn't I? Foolishly thinking that Blackburn weren't going to be able to be on the road and stick 2 victories together, which they did in fine fashion. And Watford seem to have turned a corner, don't they? Obviously dispatched Middlesbrough and then a point at Portman Road?
Yeah.
The best you can think here, I suppose, looking at recent results, is a point for Bristol City, but I'll have to side with the home side. I think they've got some firepower. This feels like a continuation of the last few weeks. I'll go for Bristol City to score, and I'll flip the result I went for the other day for them. 2-1 Watford.
First scribble of the day for me. Yeah, I've got it home win. I've got both teams to score as well. So the only thing I'm thinking is the way that Bristol City are this week, and they are struggling for injuries. The problem I've got is that Reece and Twine and Mehmeti are all still there, so they've still got quality up top. I really like the 2-1. I will go 3-1 to Watford in that case and add the extra goal on. And loving loser, and he's 4 in a row as well. Right, Blackburn v Derby has all sorts of narrative surrounding John Eustace, doesn't it? And both sides are on for a 9-point week. Both sides in great form, in fact. Blackburn are looking for a 4th straight win. Derby are looking for a 5th straight win. So I'm going to go irresistible force, immovable object and call it a draw, Sam. I'm going to sit on the fence here and go 1-1. Although if either side takes this, they have had a hell of a run into the international break.
Yeah, I think a draw would probably suit both after the week they've had. Blackburn obviously had those 2 victories on the road. I need to make up some ground, don't I? I'm going to go for Blackburn to get it right at Ewood and win by a solitary goal. 1-0 Blackburn.
Hull versus Portsmouth. Hull's good run ended in midweek at Derby. Pompey, I thought, were good last night, and you play that game 10 times. I think they win it 7 or 8 times. So maybe they're going to come in a bit more confident. So
yeah, absolutely. Got to use it as a bit of a springboard turning point for them. Chalk and cheese, really, wasn't it? You could see from the reaction of the supporters, the manager at the end of the game that it was a much better display I tend to always go for Pompey to keep it tight away from home. Hull have obviously had more success at home. I know it's a relatively still early stage of the season, but they're looking like a decent side at home. I think the draw here as well. I'm afraid I'm going to go 1-1, which is probably in keeping with every time Portsmouth go on the road. Burnt last time, but just fancy them maybe to shore things up on this occasion.
I was going to also go 1-1, so that's another scribble. Do you know, Sam, I don't see Portsmouth going there and winning. I think they're going to improve now. I think now if they can get Murphy, Chaplin and Bishop regularly on the pitch together. I know you mentioned Segacic and Lang as well. They're struggling for injuries in the front areas. But being you've taken the 1-1 and correctly said that Pompey will try and keep it tight, I don't see it being a high scoring draw. And I also don't see it being a second consecutive 0-0. So I'm going to take Hull and I'm going to take them to win it 2-1, Sam. Millwall versus Preston. Preston are brilliant and on for a 9-point week. To be fair, we were both across their win against Swansea. Millwall is strange, Sam. I think they've lost something like 2 in 9 or something, and both of those have been 4-0 defeats. So when they lose, they really, really lose. I think this might be a bit of a slugfest. I'm tempted to back Preston, but I might just come down on the draw because it feels so tight. So many 1-1s already, but I'm going to do another one. 1-1.
Yeah. It does feel low scoring and tight. Two similar sides, both going really well. Interesting, getting thumped at Birmingham. We wouldn't have envisaged that. And despite Coventry's prowess, you wouldn't have expected Mill to ship the 4 goals
Not
at home.
No.
I think I'm going to go for Preston here.
You bloody love Preston, don't you, this season? You've been high on them, haven't you?
I don't know. I think there's going to be a winner in this game. I'm going to go for Preston to win. I'm going to go for Preston to win away 2-1.
You've been braver than me, mate.
Yeah, I am. I need to make up some distance, don't I?
Yeah, but I remember doing that when I've been chasing you the past few years, and that making.
Well, maybe I'm just going there that Mill will have had a couple of capitulations, and we've not really seen that from Preston yet, have we? They're in every game,
no.
And recently they're winning a lot of football matches, so that's why I've sided with them.
Middlesbrough versus Birmingham. Birmingham not only on for a perfect 9-point week, but if they win 4-0 again, they could do 3 consecutive 4-0s.
I half fancy them here, actually, to get something.
Spoiler, I do as well.
Yeah, I think it'd be an open game. How did Middlesbrough do in the week? Remind me.
Equalised in the last second, as you correctly predicted at Leicester.
Great header, good celebrations.
Yeah, how did he get that much power on that?
Yeah, it was great. I was watching. I have that tendency, if I'm not covering a game, which I wasn't on Tuesday, to just flick and not take anything in. But I did actually catch that and enjoyed Luke Ayling's celebration almost live. I fancy Birmingham to get something, but I think this could be a really entertaining game. Goals. I'm going to go for a 2-2 here.
Love that. I don't agree, but I love it. I think, Sam, there's a lot of data that says Middlesbrough are trending down after a really, really good start and not necessarily scoring goals. Now, this won't be the first time I'm going to fall flat on my face getting carried away with Birmingham this season, but I am going to go for the 9-point week, and I'm going to shave off 1 goal from your prediction, Sam, and I'm going to go 2-1 to Blues away from home. It is Norwich versus Leicester. We'll start our Norwich piece with the normal. At time of recording, Liam Manning is still the Norwich manager. Don't know how helpful a point is last night at Sheffield Wednesday. You almost want a win or a loss to have some kind of clarity there. Leicester are honking as well, Sam. 1 win in 10. But they've got the quality. Norwich cannot deal with any adversity. And as much as I really like Liam Manning, I'm probably going to predict Norwich defeats until he's inevitably sacked in that case, which I don't want to happen, but it is how it is. I'll go do you know, I'll go 2-0 Leicester. Norwich 0, Leicester 2, which will be a horrible afternoon again at Carrow Road for Norwich fans. But what else am I going to predict? They've lost all their home games.
Yeah, and the Norwich fans don't need me to tell them. I mean, this is a very, very low ebb. I mean, that's an understatement. There's always big expectation, I think, at that club, especially when they're in the Championship, hugely underperforming. And yeah, I saw the kind of post-mortem of that game last night in various mediums, and it seemed to be like, it's a point at least for Liam Manning to stop the rot. And I'm thinking, blimey, Sheffield Wednesday with all their troubles, despite Norwich's wretched form, still won a couple of games away from home early part of the season. They've got good players. I still expected them, well, maybe not expected them, but I think that's a bit of a reality check, isn't it? If going to Sheffield Wednesday with all their issues and getting a point is the turnaround, is the springboard. So they need something here desperately. Do you know what? I'm going to play safe and go for a 1-1 and just predict Norwich to find something. And I think it's probably the safest bet here, given the form of both sides.
Yeah. Sheffield United versus QPR is the game we were talking about, where both sides are on for a 0-point week. So at least, thankfully, it's not going to happen for one of them.
Yeah, I mean, I watched probably the last half an hour of QPR Southampton, and it looked like a decent side. Maybe didn't show the potency, obviously, or the coolness in front of goal that was required. But, they were zipping it around. There was a real energy, but it's easy to start playing when you're 2-0 down, the old cliche. And that's the part of the game that I watched. So I can't back QPR. I don't think in their form at the moment. I think they were a little bit fortuitous with some of the most recent victories as well, if you go back before this losing streak. I'm going to go for Sheffield United here. I'm going to go for Sheffield United, and I'm going to go for Sheffield United 2-0.
I'm also going to go for Sheffield United, and I'm going to go slightly narrower margin of victory. I just think, in terms of the football management from Chris Wilder, I think he's just going to completely... We heard John Mousinho say something similar about the first half yesterday. Just totally simplify it and say, look, just clean sheet, make yourself hard to play against. I must admit, I thought Coventry were brilliant in the start of the second half then. So they did literally come up against the best side in the division, like a tidal wave after half time. But I think he'll simplify it. And they've eked out, I think maybe all of their wins have been 1-0 possibly. I could be wrong about that. But they've normally with O'Hare scoring, so it might be something similar. Sheffield United 1, QPR 0. So sorry, Rangers fans, I am forecasting a 0-point week. It's Southampton versus Sheffield Wednesday, Sam. We've had a bit of feedback that you could be more sincere with the public apologies. And we've got to give one. Yeah, we've got to give one right now to Southampton because we both predicted them to lose. Yeah. So, do you want to do it with all sincerity, Sam?
Not really. This morning,
he's doubled down
after I had to watch that last night with my pals Guy Havard and Adrian Clark on commentary, which I don't know if that was a positive or a negative for me. Well, they scored a brilliant second goal. I'll give them that, Cienza. But I mean, the defending late on, you talk about the ball just being smashed into the stand or up in the air. It was panic stations.
This is an I'm sorry, but.
No, I'm just reliving it, just more pain. It was just quite bizarre because we came into the season with obviously the expectation that Southampton were going to be right up there amongst the automatic contenders, and at the moment they're anything but. But well done.
Seems to be the hardest word.
Yeah, well done. It's the start. Do you know what? I will
take your little win.
I will.
Go on.
I will apologise by giving them another victory against Sheffield Wednesday. There you go. How's that?
I think your best one last season, Sam, was I apologise to nobody. I think that was my favourite one. Sorry, mate. Southampton, Sheffield Wednesday. I'll do the next one. I'll do the next apology. Yeah.
Okay. Southampton, Sheffield Wednesday. Oh, I quite like what I went for previously. 2-0, Southampton.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I was supposed to go first then. Sorry, got all confused. I'm not going to go 2-0 anyway, but I will back Southampton. I think Wednesday are right at the limit with everything they're doing, like logistically and physically. And I think having played on Wednesday night, I know Southampton did and travelled as well, but they've got bloody year one parachute squad, haven't they? So I think it could get loose in the second half. I'll go same margin of victory, Sam. I'll go 3-1. Right, and I'm really glad you're up first for this one because this is a blockbuster, the rarest one, Sam. First against second, Stoke versus Coventry. Stoke on for a 9-point week. They've won 3 in a row as well. How good is this going to be?
Yeah, great. I mean, you'd have fancied Coventry, wouldn't you, to have been top 3, 4 start of the season. Stoke still would have been a bit of a wild card.
16th.
Yeah.
Get them in there.
What's that, 8 goals in the last 2?
Yeah.
So they were very, very clinical last time out against Bristol
What
City
about
at home.
Chamado, the right back as well? He's on fire as well, isn't he?
I've always liked him.
Yeah.
I've always liked him. I mean,
we used to talk about him on the EFL show, didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah, he's a flyer, isn't he? Obviously, just finding that little bit of end product now as well to marry up. I don't know. This is really, really difficult. Really difficult.
Mark Robins as well, wrinkle.
Yeah, on one part of it, you think, could Stoke lock it down and just get over the line narrowly? Or is it going to be akin to what we saw at Wrexham the other day? I'd probably go with the former. So for that reason, I don't know if Stoke are going to win. What the hell of it? I'll go for Stoke to win, and I'll go for Stoke to edge out Coventry in a massive game, 2-1.
Oh my God, we could get egg on our face here. I think
Did you see that coming?
I didn't know. I thought you were going to go low scoring draw. I thought you might even go 0-0 on that one. I don't think
some ground.
Yeah, I don't think Frank's got a 0-0 in him in this one, has he? But I love Frank Lampard, but I think Mark Robins would quite like their head-to-head here. I can see Stoke winning 1-0.
Where did Cov lose a fortnight ago or a week ago?
Wrexham.
Wrexham, of course. Sorry, I just said it, didn't I?
Yeah. I can't believe we're both going to do this. We're both going to back against Coventry in this one. I'm going to go... I'll do the public apology. Don't worry when Coventry get a win. But, yeah, I can see... I had loads of Stoke fans in the watch-along coming along, so high on life, so much confidence, so much excitement after years of crap at the Bet365. And I think they're going to be well up for this international break, home game, first against second. Yeah, I can see it. But, yeah, I can't believe that must be the only time this season that we'll both back against Coventry. I bet it is. Swansea versus Ipswich. Do I trust Ipswich to go to Swansea and win away? No, I don't. But do they have enough individual quality to do it? Yes. Will they keep a clean sheet? Absolutely not. I think Ipswich might win 2-1, but I can see them not winning. Not there yet, are they, Ipswich, Sam? They're flattering to deceive. But I'm going to back Ipswich to win purely on star power and the fact that, Swansea in 10 of their 14 games have not won this season. So Swansea 1, Ipswich 2 in the Cameron Burgess derby.
I would have probably had that, had I gone first. Yeah. Swansea have only won a couple at home, haven't they?
Right.
So, yeah, I seem to be quite down on them. They're down in 17th. They could go level with Ipswich on points here should they win this. So it's a big game. Yeah, it's a big game. But I'm with you. I think Ipswich will probably just have a little bit too much. So I'll go 0-1.
Yeah, don't mind that at all. West Brom v Oxford. You were in front of West Brom's trend down, weren't you? You told me this was going to happen, and it's happened. They are not in good form. And I didn't much like Ryan Mason's post-match, very honest, but you can't tell your owners and your fans that it's not good enough and you need to stand up and do better unless you follow that up by doing better. Do you think they'll beat Oxford at home?
I think I've been quite positive consistently about Oxford, but obviously thumped the other day, weren't they, by Stoke midweek. again, I think the safe narrative here is low scoring, potentially West Brom nicking it. So for that reason, I'm just going to go for them to get over the line. Could be 0-0, maybe, but 1-0 West Brom.
It could be 0-0, Sam, and that's what I've got written down on my pad. They're just not. If West Brom, I think it's either 0-0 or what you've said, and I don't see West Brom. And it's so frustrating because I remember at the start of the season, particularly in that first game against Blackburn, it was, played some really good football, made loads of chances. That's just not been happening. I don't want to say since then because they had a good opening 3 or 4 games. But yeah, if that does happen, it'll be like a set play or a bit of individual quality. I'll take the 0-0 because even though I actually agree with you on Oxford, I think there's reason to be positive. I think they lost the first 2, didn't they, Oxford? And then maybe they lost the first 3. I think it's something like 13 points from 11 or something since then. So it's all right. If that tracks, they'll be either right on the line or just above it, won't they? Which is frankly the goal. But I will go 0-0. Which leaves us with Wrexham Charlton, where I'm also tempted to go 0-0 because both of these managers have a bit of a safety first approach sometimes. This one's really difficult, Sam. If this was at Charlton at the Valley, I'd be going for a Charlton win. I think Wrexham might nick it. Or is it just going to be an unhelpful draw? Mate, I can't call this, so I'm going to throw... I haven't done a 1-1 since the game 4, so I'm going to do it. 1-1.
Well, I was there. The penultimate game of last season.
What was the score?
I think it was 3-0 to Wrexham. It was
wow.
the day that they were promoted. Charlton
That
did not turn
this time,
up.
I don't think.
Charlton had a couple of injuries to big players, weren't at it at all. I haven't had a 3-goal team so far in these predictions. So therefore,
what are you about to do?
I'm going to go. I don't even think Charlton have probably conceded 3 in a game this season off the top of my head, but they are on Saturday. I'm always very positive about Nathan Jones' side, but Wrexham are going to win this by 3-1.
That's sensational. Do you know what? I'll give you. I'll
give you the money myself.
Yeah, I'll give you a bonus point if that one. It will give you a 4-pointer for that one.
Les Dennis
that
for
one.
you there, a bit of Les Dennis.
Les Dennis in that episode of Extras. Sometimes I just go on YouTube and just watch. So funny, but so depressive at the same time. There we go. Which pretty much sums up the this show and the championship, doesn't it? It's been a busy 3-game week. Sam's made me go delirious thinking about Les Dennis. Look at what you could have won. Did he say that? That's not him.
No, that's Jim Bowen.
That's
Les
Jim
Dennis
Bowen.
Is if that's there, I'll give you the money myself, which was what I just did.
Okay.
Don't make me explain my gag.
It's not that it was a bad gag. It's that I'm too stupid.
Enjoy it more. You'll enjoy it.
Mate, I've got to stop this. See you next week for the Chicken Podcast.